Welcome to a little segment I like to call Bumps and Bends. Hey guys, here we go for another round of Bumps and Bends. Thanks for watching. Just a bit of a track guide for the upcoming week for Formula Sprint. We're at Suzuka East Course. Now this brings back a lot of memories from Gran Turismo. Did a lot of laps here. It's the little course. It's a bit like when games broke up Nürburgring into sectors. This is just one sector of Suzuka, and it's really good way to learn this particular part of the circuit without having to go and do full Grand Prix laps to relearn it. So I've got my times down to a 44.8, but the main thing I've noticed is getting the tyres up to temperature. Took about 5 laps. So I just watched a race earlier, didn't participate, but the leader was doing mid to low 45s, and then he went into the 44.6s. So 44.8's not too far off the pace. And yeah, let's kick off with a lap. So coming up here, braking really late, having trust in the downforce itself. Much higher gear than you would expect. So, fifth up until really late. Use the gearbox to adjust the grip in the car. Brake really late, throw the car over the hill, keep it tight, very fiddly exit. Only 2 sectors. But that is a 44.823. And yeah, just found that last sector was the easiest way to make up time. Let's have a look at the bumps and the bends. There's not too many bumps, but after watching the leader, it is really important. Here we go. Really important to commit. And yeah, let's do this. So coming up to the first corner, ignore this guy. I always use official sessions rather than test sessions. Now I was braking here when I first did this track, just sort of working off instinct. And you learn quickly by watching the leaders how committed they are into turn 1. And I'm going to learn this for every single car that I do from now on. So they're braking here really early. And this track really rewards smoothness of the steering wheel. So just pulling it out a little bit, just a little bit back in. Having faith in the grip of the car. And that's down to 4th gear. Using as much of the exit as possible. Try not to hit the limiter, but go into 5th and cut right across here. Focus is about maintaining momentum. And you'll see the switch back there throws the car around, slight little bump. And you'll find here, if you're understeering, pull it back to 4th early. Although the leaders managed to, they're that smooth, they can actually hold 5th here. So going out wide, but not too wide. And you really want to minimize the length of the circuit around here without reducing too much speed. So once again, it comes back to your tire grip, and you can see I'm understeering there, but it's okay. Focus on the switch back up here. Now this is a really fiddly section of the track. You can see I'm playing with the throttle, just trying to focus on the exit of the corner way over here, but it's more about positioning the car in the right spot at this particular part of the track so that when you throw it out, you're not going to end out wide over the circuit. So throw it in, and this is just maintaining momentum. Once again, use the gearbox, turn into third after that bump. If you hit this bump in the wrong way, it'll throw you wide. And once you're throwing wide, you're really fiddly to try and, with the throttle, to try and pull it back in. You don't want to touch the brake because it's a long straight after that. But going out wide into third to pull the front end in, and then just find that perfect spot. And you're going to find it with practice. If you just jump into one of these sessions, you'll find the car is really hard to drive at first, but just practice, 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 and you'll find that perfect spot to jump on the throttle. I've actually used that bump to try and pull the front end in, which doesn't quite work. And then I'll just actually move it to the right to minimize the length of the track and try and grab a couple of hundredths right there. And just don't hit the limiter. You're going to lose a lot of momentum down the straight and you're going to get swamped. What I also want to show you is the race that I watched earlier. This guy here is the leader. And look how far away he is from the safety car. So there's going to be games played once again. It is Formula Sprint. Let them play their games. And what he's actually doing is he's taunting this guy. He wants to go. He wants to be up here. But he's getting messages to let the guy past. And yeah, you just want to watch. See, he's still warming the tyres. And now, like the safety car is so far away and he's off. So the safety car comes in here, and if they're doing games like this, if you're one of these four cars, you're actually before the crest and you're not going to see where the safety car is going to come in. And what he's done is looked for that perfect opportunity for when this guy flinched to let him back past so he doesn't get a drive through or a penalty, and then he's just shot out of the corner. And so it's given him the perfect advantage down the straight, and these two are now battling with each other.
That's 5 minutes to go. Come on, keep it together. We'll be on the podium here.
Thanks, Jim. Alright, so what I also want to show you is why smoothness of the steering wheel is ultra important. So we're watching a battle here between these three guys, and this is car number one here, and he's kind of gone half defensive, but this guy here has actually gone, I'm having a crack here. So your spatial awareness, first of all, is really important. You really need to know where the guy next to you, if he's going to dive or if he's going to back it off a bit. But have a look. This guy, he's the innocent party here, and he's trying to stay out of it. But he's just flinched a little bit with the brake and a little bit with the steering. And watch what happens to his car. So he little bit of rear brake there, twitched, and the car's just lost control. And so what he's done, he's taken himself out and he's taken that guy out. So smoothness of the throttle and smoothness of the steering in the first two corners are ultra important today, this week. And your tyre grip is ultra important as well. One last thing, Martin Granberg, I watched him for the rest of the race. He didn't pit. And so he's gone from doing 45s to 50-second laps. And for a 12-lap race, 12 or 14-lap race, that's 5 seconds per lap. And that's over a lap behind. So go into the pits as soon as you can. If you make it, if your suspension's failed, it can be a struggle. But this guy only had aero damage. And if he had have pitted earlier, he would have been a lot further up the field and would have done a lot better damage limitation. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know what you think. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe and come check me out on Twitch, and I'll see you next time. Bye.